So, a political battle that raises questions about transparency and whether internal democracy within Nigeria's ruling party is functioning as advertised. In Delta North, what should have been a straightforward APC primary has descended into competing declarations of victory, disputed figures, and allegations of intimidation. One camp says the former Delta governor, Nwoko, won convincingly. Another insists the result tells a very different story, that the official narrative does not reflect what happened on the ground. At the center of the storm is the incumbent Senator Ned Nwoko, who says ward-level results across the district show he overwhelmingly defeated his rival and that due process within the party has yet to run its course. His supporters allege attempts to shape perception before final declarations, while also raising concerns about violence and intimidation during the exercise. So who really won in Delta North? Was this a case of procedural confusion, political muscle, or something more troubling? With more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by the businessman, incumbent lawmaker, and one of the key figures at the center of this increasingly contentious contest, Senator Ned Nwoko. Senator, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you, Charles.
Now, the officially declared results says Nwoko won decisively, yet you insist, well, I mean, it was announced by the person who was in charge of making such an announcement. You insist you won overwhelmingly. For viewers trying to separate fact from political spin, on what evidence do you base your claim?
On what happened at the various wards. I come from Delta North, which is made up of 98 wards, and the elections took place, the primary took place in all the 98 wards. So we have the result sheets. We have the videos supporting every figure that we have.
Right.
And
these are authenticated,
of course, yes.
ward by ward results.
Ward by ward results, and they are here.
Right.
And then the videos are also available.
Right. And you're prepared to submit those?
Of course, yes.
Have you submitted them to your?
We have submitted them. We have submitted them, and of course, as you probably know, halfway through the primary, we got messages in our phones that no results should be announced at the ward levels, that they should be collected and then announced later that the national in Abuja will announce the results. And so we thought it would be law-abiding. And so my people were telling me, come on, you won, announce it. And suddenly, about 7 p.m. or so, we saw some video, only just one video, of one of the wards, from one of the wards in Eka Northeast, which is a ward where the major assistants known to everybody, that they work with the governor, former commissioners and the rest of them. They're from that particular village, next to the governor's village. And there's just one video showing 3 people in a line, and then the rest that were probably not more than 500. That was what I saw in the video. Although in the results they said there were 5,000. Just, these guys are so dishonest. They are just simply dishonest. They have no qualms.
Well, I think with all due respect, and I'm not discounting your own assessment.
No, the point.
I think it's important,
Charles, let me make this point
to wait for the final determination before
Charles,
you allege that someone is dishonest.
I know them.
Because
these are characters that we know.
Yeah, but the APC's returning officer announced him as the winner.
Let me tell you, these are people appointed by the governor. The so-called returning officer was appointed by the government.
But you accepted that
no,
I
didn't. I didn't.
Did you query the person?
I actually wanted to see them. I was told that they were kept in the government house. Nobody should. I was not allowed to see them. I went there, and so they were. It wasn't as if.
So your effective argument, or you're effectively arguing that the process was manipulated?
Oh, it was from day one. You know,
that it was manipulated or bypassed?
Manipulated.
Right.
Something that they conspired for this result, for what they saw or what they produced.
So who are you alleging conspired?
Who else would have done it?
I mean, you're mentioning
the state government. The state government.
So the incumbent governor is in cahoots
of course,
with
yes.
Governor Ifeanyi. That's your allegation.
Of course, yes.
Right.
You know, he is the Ifeanyi's stooge. You know, we all know that. You know.
So you are arguing. It may sound like I'm repeating things, but we want to be ineluctably
just allow
clear.
me to state something.
Yeah.
The video that you saw where Ifeanyi Kowa was announced as the winner, just one video from one word out of 98 words. Maybe they should show us other videos. They must show us the figures.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be too worried. I mean, if I were you, if your point, I mean, you've got the evidence, because your supporters argue that only the APC national structure has the authority to make final declarations.
Yes.
So if the announcement in favor of Mr. Okowa was premature, or as you say, illegitimate, or both, then that should be sorted at the national level, shouldn't it?
Well,
so you're still optimistic.
We're still waiting.
Right.
We're still waiting.
If the party hierarchy at the National Secretariat eventually upholds the declared results against you, will you accept it, or are we heading towards litigation?
I wouldn't.
So you're going to go to court?
I wouldn't, because I have a mandate.
Right.
I have a mandate by the people. I was there, and things were quite okay. We look. If you know, I've sent in some videos. I don't know whether you've seen them.
I saw some of them.
And these are crowd of people, you know, who are jubilating, who are happy to come out to support my choice as the candidate for them. And then some guys who believe in a system just think they can frustrate that or they can stop it. They can't. They can't. So we certainly will be heading towards litigation.
Your camp also alleged intimidation and violence in areas considered your strongholds. How widespread was this, and do you believe it might have altered the outcome?
No. There were just isolated cases, maybe in about 10 wards out of 98.
Not enough to make
no,
dent.
No, not at all. You know.
Nigerian politics, and I'm sure you know this because you're very experienced. Nigerian politics repeatedly sees allegations of coercion during primaries. I mean, why does internal party competition so often become a contest of force rather than persuasion? I mean, is there something in the character of the Nigerian politician?
There is, because you will see somebody like my opponent. He doesn't believe in the people. He believes in a system. He feels that he can put what they call a structure within political circles. He makes sure that this guy is elected as a commissioner, as a House of Assembly member, or as a local government chairman, or the party chairman. So he puts them there, and they control everything with him. You know, he doesn't really relate with the people. And the reverse is the case with me. I relate with the people. I'm not a system person. And so the people are with me, and they will always be with me.
Right, but when you talk about these people who've got these, you're talking about your opponent, basically.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Ifeanyi Okowa.
Or Ifeanyi Okowa and his commissioners, or the governor. The governor and the commissioners,
right.
the House of Assembly members, House of Reps members. You know, they work in the. So
you're a bit of an outsider.
I have always been, and right. I'll always remain. So, you know, as far as I am concerned, these guys work for themselves. They don't really care about the people, you know, in the way things are done.
Right. Well, let me just say, as a matter of journalistic responsibility, that Ifeanyi Okowa and the people that he's alleging have a right of reply. So if they want to reply to some of the things he said, they have a right to come and have that reply. The APC, your party, presents itself as Nigeria's most organized political party. Does this controversy suggest deeper weaknesses in internal democracy? I mean, if aspirants within the ruling party cannot trust primary processes, what message does that send about democratic culture more broadly?
I can talk about my state. I was in PDP. I got elected as a PDP senator.
Before you carpet crossed.
But I realized that my people there, the governor, the Okowa himself, didn't allow me to operate freely. For example, as a senator...
So you wanted to be one of the boys, basically?
For example, I wanted to recommend the appointment of some commissioners or nominate some council chairman to be elected. But I was told, sorry, you can't. It's not for you. Governor told me I couldn't do it. And that I must defer to Okowa for everything, including projects that are considered so important for our people. For example, there's this power project, they call power plant. I wanted that power plant step down of it to be achieved. It was commissioned in 2005 by Obasanjo, and that power plant produces almost 1,000 plus megawatts. Part of the power supply to Abuja is from Okbai. Part of in fact, they supply power to your state, to Enugu State, to Anambra State, Kogi State, coming down to Abuja. But the total darkness in the area. And so as soon as I was elected, I took it up. I said, federal government had agreed that they would do this. And I moved a motion on the floor of the Senate, which was totally supported. But the fact remains that those who were the governor who could have done this, I went to him and I said, this particular step down is so important and it's going to cost X, Y, Z. Can you please do it? Federal governments don't have the money to undertake such projects, but they are willing to partner with the state to do it. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. And then, when I was in the House of Reps, I also introduced a dam, a Gwashuku Dam. The dam has been built by federal government, completely built. All that is left is just to do the water treatment plant. Again, I got in touch with the Minister of Water Resources. He sent me a letter saying that they've done their own part. The rest is for the state to do. The governor wouldn't do it.
And he wouldn't do it because you were not a member of the APC.
No, at that time we're all in PDP.
Right.
But he told me that that's not his priority. They couldn't do it.
Right.
There was also another road project, the coastal road. He wouldn't do it. I'm just telling you why I left.
Right.
Them at the point that I left them. I didn't leave them because I was criminally, I was wanted for any criminal matters. I have no problem with anybody.
So when you say you left it, you mean you went over to the APC?
I went over to the APC because
right. So you must have been mortally disappointed when they moved shop and entered the APC.
Precisely. I was there and doing my thing, trying to at least get federal attention to do my projects. And suddenly, they came over.
but of course some would say that Ifeanyi Okowa, who was the former governor, brings enormous political experience and structure. I mean, are you challenging an individual or an entire political machine?
Look, in Delta State, he has his own political structure. I have mine. But the people are my structure. And my allegiance is to the people. Okowa was made a governor by Ibori, as you know. Okowa was.
But he could make the same argument about how you became a senator.
No, but I fought for it myself.
Yeah, but you don't expect him to sit where you're sitting and say that somebody made him governor, that he wasn't voted in by the people.
We know that
he
was made a governor by Chief John Sibori, the same way that Okowa, also made the current governor a governor. So the current governor is practically doing everything that Okowa wants him to do.
Yeah, but
that is the problem.
You're a sitting senator.
Yes.
I mean, you're considered a very powerful, very wealthy man. Is this another case of powerful politicians? I mean, that's the way ordinary Nigerians would see it, fighting over positions while ordinary Nigerians struggle with insecurity and economic hardship. I mean, why should voters care which elite faction wins this battle? You're both members of the political elite. I mean, it doesn't really matter whether you say you identify with the people. That's the way people see you guys.
Well, they came out and must vote for me. It's also an indication of who they want.
Well, that's what you say.
I know, I've sent you all the videos. Perhaps they should also have his own video to show you.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
If your claim is correct and genuine winners can be denied recognition internally within the APC, does that risk creating resentment that weakens the APC ahead of 2027?
That will certainly happen.
Do you think unresolved disputes like this could drive people like yourself who are aggrieved to work against the party?
Well, I'm not going to say I'm going to work against the party or I'm going to work for the party, but I can assure you of this.
Right.
I am relatively I'm sure that the president will intervene in this matter because he knows
your own matter.
Yeah, of course, yes. He knows the issues, and he's a Democrat. He will certainly look at the issues and look at the processes that threw up the current crisis. He will intervene.
But how much confidence? I mean, why would it require presidential intervention? I mean, you don't trust the structure of the National Secretariat to do. I mean, if you submit the right thing and they review it and you've clearly won, I mean, you shouldn't be worried, should you?
I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I'm just telling you that I'm not thinking about working against the party, and I wouldn't do that because of the interests of the party, of the people that make up the party, the masses. And of course, I said, because also I am confident that the president will intervene in a matter of this nature.
But if the president says, well, no, I trust the party hierarchy, the party, the committees or whatever that have been appointed to examine these things. And I mean, that's what people would expect him to do, to trust the systems within the party. And if the party ends up, in other words, if the president calls you and says you need to repose your trust in the system, the system goes against you.
The president knows what's happening in Delta. He knows that the legacy APC members have been shoved aside by the new PDP guys that came into the party. He knows that they control the party. He knows that there are fundamental problems in Delta, and so over time they've been trying to sort it out, but they haven't. Unfortunately, not until we just went into these primaries. There are fundamental problems in Delta.
But it's not just Delta, is it? I mean,
I'm only talking about Delta because that's where I come from.
That's directly relevant to you.
Yeah.
But you're also a senator.
Yeah.
I mean, on a federal level. I mean, you bestride Nigerian politics. So you can't sort of say that you're not aware of what is happening within the APC. It's not just
I know there are similar problems in maybe Bauchi or in Benue, in Ekiti. Of course, there are. But I'm sure that the president is looking into them and it will be resolved. But they wouldn't want people to leave the party.
But this was always what what some political analysts and members of the opposition had talked about, that the APC would start to implode because of the mass of people who were simply defecting to the party. And by that defection, threatening the people who were there all along and working hard to sort of maintain the party structures. And that is what is happening now, isn't it? I mean, would you admit that that is, at least to some extent, what is happening?
I can talk about Delta. I keep telling you that I can only talk about Delta. The fact is that the legacy APC members have been shoved aside, and the new guys that came in took over practically everything.
Yeah, but was that the prize that was given to them for them to move into the APC?
Well, it must be, because
well, if you're not aware of it, then you're clearly not a man with an ear to the ground in your own state.
I myself and others were promised that there would be discussions.
Right.
On the new structure of the party, and we believed that there would be some.
Who promised you that?
Oh, come on, the former chairman.
Right.
The former chairman, Allegation, who was the national chairman. We had meetings with him, and he and other leaders of the party, and we were assured that there will be some power sharing formula. We're even told, for example, that the state ESCO, will be dissolved, and that there will be nominations to enable the old APC to get a foothold into the government. But that was never done. It was never done.
And of course, Ganduje is no longer the chair.
Of course, yes. That was the problem. That was the problem. So I certainly was told before I came into the party that there will be an automatic ticket for me. And why would I just live like that without making sure that I have a secure...
Right.
So
that promise was broken, basically, because it wasn't an automatic ticket. I mean, you had to compete for the ticket.
Yes.
If independent evidence ultimately showed that Ifeanyi Okowa genuinely won fairly, would you concede publicly and ask your supporters to move on?
No.
Because you know that
I was there. I have the evidence. I have the video. Look, you cannot convince somebody who is innocent to say I am guilty. It's not possible.
Indeed.
It's not possible.
Right.
We won the primary.
So when will you know
in 98 words.
Right.
All that Ifeanyi Okowa did was just to show evidence of one ward where they were...
So you won all the wards?
No, I couldn't have won his ward.
Right.
That would be foolhardy of me to think I will win his ward. Because
you won the majority of them.
Of course, yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So when are you likely to know what the decision is about this?
I don't know, but I'm sure that the National Party will do what is needful.
Right.
But I keep going back to this particular video. People are so uninformed sometimes. How could you base your declaration of a result on one word? That particular word that belongs to Governor Okowa.
Right.
There are many other 97 other words. Why don't you just find out what happened in them? So you have the videos.
Well, you seem confident that he hasn't found out. I mean, he obviously thinks he won the election. It's in all the newspapers.
No, he doesn't think. These are people who manipulate results. That's their stock in trade.
Okay.
That is their stock in trade.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what the final result is. But I want to thank you very much indeed for taking the time to come in and talk to us and talk to the Nigerian people about what is happening in Delta North.
Thank you.
Senator Ned Nwoko is the incumbent senator for Delta North. He's a businessman and one of the key figures at the center of this contentious contest. Thank you very much indeed.